Hello, geeks and nerds. Welcome to the Nerd Zone. I'm Scruffy, and this is Scruffy Tales. And in this video, I will show you the best fantasy battle ever made in Hollywood history. And it is an incredible fantasy battle. It has everything you want. You have disciplined troops, you have barbarians, you have cavalry outflanking the enemy, and you make good use of indirect fire in a fantasy way, you with catapults supporting the troops in a somewhat plausible way. And it's if it's historical, it's all BS. But in a fantasy setting, it is mwah, perfection. And which battle is it? Well, it is the big battle sequence at the start of Gladiator. Right. So this is, in actuality, the best fantasy battle on screen ever made in a Hollywood movie. This is pure awesome fantasy battle warfare, what have you. Where you, I mean, just imagine that Roman army, replace that with the kingdom or the imperial troops, right? And then you have the Germanic tribes. They are the classic barbarians, yeah, 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 yeah. So just imagine that this is a fantasy movie, Game of Thrones or whatever. And then this battle is just chef's kiss if we put it in that setting. So what do we have here? Oh, palisades. This is a quite clearly prepared defensive line. The Romans have been here for some time, and the barbarian horde has just emerged out of the woods. For some reason, walking right into the line of fire of the catapults. Maybe they have catapults all around here or something. Maybe this is a smaller encampment, since we do have the Emperor on location as well. So this might actually be a frontline fortification fort that the Romans are defending, and then they decide to go out and meet the enemy head on. Otherwise, why won't the Germans attack from a different angle to avoid all these defenses? Unless these defenses actually go around the entire area, right? So we have ballistas, we have catapults, we have all sort of things, and we have, of course, Romans in full armor. Just awesome. One of the most iconic piece of soldiering kits in throughout history. And I mean, this is without a doubt the best fantasy battle on screen. Let's see it play out. I mean, take a look. Okay, so now we use an arrow to signal that everyone is in place. The cavalry is in place behind the enemy. They have made an encirclement that the barbarians are unaware. Oh, here's the fantasy part with fire arrows. Ignore the fire arrows. Let's pretend those are not there. I mean, take away the fire arrows, and this is bloody brilliant. Yes, remove those. But this fantasy segment here, firing pots of oil that crack open when they hit the trees and become an inferno that rains down. Why not? If it's a fantasy movie, right? It makes perfect sense in a fantasy setting. Ignore the fire arrows. And here we have the ballistas, and poof, you take out two guys with one shot and everything, and more pots of oil. Boom! I mean, how awesome! And take a look. The Roman infantry marching straight up. Take note, they're not rushing. And here we have the cavalry moving through the forest with the cavalry. Yeah, I don't know about that, but fantasy, it's fine for a fantasy setting. Take a look, the Romans marching. They are not running. They are actually marching, trying to hold formation, which is not easy in that terrain, but they are marching. They're not running like crazy. And they're doing it while being supported by arrows and the catapults. Take a look, and the enemy is just taking it. And here they are marching, holding their shields. Not a single pila will be thrown, but never mind, but they're holding formation. Take a look, and the barbarians like, come on, bring it. And here we have, look at the professionalism of the Romans. They take cover, and like robots, they just unfold the shields, get ready for action, holding the line as this horde of people rush in. And then it just devolves into the Hollywood melee. But then we see how the cavalry has moved around behind the enemy, and they are now moving in and attacking the vulnerable rear. And this is just, I mean, it's a brilliant battlefield uh, experience in a Hollywood movie. I mean, if this was fantasy and not, an attempt to make something historical, imagine if this is Warhammer, right? A Warhammer battle. How cool isn't it? It's just awesome. And so yeah, and here we go, Maximus falling over. And I mean, a guy with an axe really should have killed him there, but never mind. It is the best fantasy battle ever made on screen by Hollywood. And that's it. I hope you found it interesting. I hope I'll see you in the next one. And until then, see you around.